Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us for the Forex forecast. This week we are going to be looking at the New Zealand dollar. And looking at the New Zealand dollar, we have some very interesting things going on here. Last week we saw the retest of the weekly supply level, and you can see that highlighted here with the Apazone's multiple time frame tool. This big weekly level, and we've been looking for this move to complete since early February/March over here. All right, that's when we were looking at this move to play out, and lo and behold, it finally has done so. Okay, so looking at the most recent levels, we are looking for price to continue to the upside here, coming outside of this daily level, okay, this daily demand level, and this level is from 7204 up to 7250. We are seeing a rally out of this area here, and we're going to be looking for it to retest the highs and see if we can't really touch this weekly level. It really stretched up there quite a bit this past week, but we really want to see it come up there and touch it as we are looking at it hitting the 74.94 level, or let's round it up to 75 even. Okay, so that's what I'm looking to have happen here on the New Zealand dollar. Just be mindful that we do have some 4-hour time frames on in the way. All right, if we look at the current zones here, you can see that inside of the daily levels, we have a nice bounce off of this daily aqua zone right now, but it's already done a bounce off of a 4-hour time frame, and it's coming up to a high 4-hour time frame. Okay, so if you're taking the long, realize that this 4-hour time frame is your support and resistance. Okay, and you're looking at the big daily/weekly picture, so you need to go past the short-term support and resistance at 43.06 up to 43.42, and shoot more for the big daily and weekly time frames here as we look to swing trade this thing out. If we zoom in just a little bit more, or if we show all of our levels here, up and down our chart, we can also see that we have a little bit of resistance here as well. That's 73.84 up to 74.13, and then it looks like price bounced off of the level up high. And if we look at when this level was actually drawn, this was drawn back on 5/12 of 2015, over a year. This level has been on our charts, and you can see the reaction of price up there. So I think that's really cool, and hopefully that gives you some good insight as to what to expect on the New Zealand dollar this up and coming week. Looking at the Aussie dollar this week, I think this market is particularly interesting just because it looks like we are forming into a range here. Now, technically speaking, the trend has been up on this market for a while. However, we have been looking at a weekly bounce of the trend line that we have drawn up here from this point. And on a weekly chart, it looks a little bit better, but as we come down here and move things around just a little bit, that's roughly what we're going for. Okay, so let's redraw that real quickly, and you can really see how prices bounced off of that trend line, and we're also inside of this weekly supply up here from 106.86 to 76.86 up to 78.48. You can see that we're hitting that level, and price seems to be rejecting it and rejecting it and rejecting it. So right now we find ourselves on the bottom part of a newly formed range, which is exactly what the elite software says over here, is we're up technically, but we're ranging. All right, and we're waiting to see what is going to happen here. Are we going to continue to range? And if we are going to continue to range, what I would like to see is for us to sell up high and buy back down low. All right, or play the extremes of the range, whichever way you want to go. All right, now technically, since the overall trend is still up, but we are being rejected from the weekly level up there, and let me draw in this level. Okay, so now you guys can see that. As we're looking at this purple zone down here, yes, it's been hit a lot of times, but the overall trend is up, So I'm really thinking that this uh, 74.99 level, that this is going to hold. The 75 level should be holding here based upon the price action to some degree. We're seeing a reaction off of that zone, if you will, and we're going to be looking to see how high it can really go. Now, as we're looking at this, I'm looking to play the extremes of the range. All right, either way that it goes, I'm looking to play the extremes of the range, and buy low, sell high, buy in the direction of the trend. Okay, or trade in the direction of the trend. Do what you oughta, and keep it nice and simple here. Now, as far as support and resistance goes on our smaller time frame, here are the two most recent 4-hour levels. You can see a little bit of resistance that we're coming into right now, okay, as well as the 4-hour demand that's inside of that area down below. Okay, so we're coming into a little bit of resistance. If we show all of the zones, the 4-hour zones on our chart, you can see a whole lot more, and it's also very apparent the overlap of the levels here inside of this supply level that we have from the 46.35 level up to the the 76.50 level up to the 77.50 level. All right, and I want to pay attention to those levels inside of that daily supply zone. So we have one right here. I know it may be a little bit hard to see, and we have one right there. All right. So those are the two levels that we have inside of that big daily zone here. All right. So those are the two extremes of that zone that I'm going to be looking for price to react to.